Mama's gone mad. Mama's gone mad. Mama's gone mad.
Hi, I'm Brenna, and this is the Mama's Gone Mad podcast.
Mama's gone mad. Mama's gone mad.
So, we've had a lovely week, actually. I'm doing the holiday special today. That is what I'm going to be talking about. I have had so many amazing tips sent through, and I've written them all down, and I'm going to keep them for when we go on holiday. We're going to Spain this year in a few months, and then hopefully at the end of the year we'll be going to Disney. Obviously, we've got to wait and see if the kids get through like the audition to perform there. And then me and Stuart have just booked a trip to Prague for next year, because next February we will have been married for 10 years. So that's crazy, mental, but very exciting. It'll be our first like proper trip away from the kids. 3 nights I think we're going, so it'll be the longest we've ever been away from the kids. I'm nervous but very, very excited. It kind of feels like we almost went into our own little lockdown of like not really doing much since we had Alessia, and it feels like suddenly we're having all these things planned and we're doing all these lovely things, going all these lovely places, and it's really nice. It's going to be a lovely year. I'm really, really excited for all the things to come, and obviously I've been very busy with working on this and sort of things coming off this as well, which I will definitely talk about probably in the next 2 or 3 months, I would say. Just need a bit of time with that one. But yeah, I'm gonna I really, really, really want to talk about a new business around here, which I'm going to do now, and then I will get on to the holiday special. So obviously I am aware that this podcast reaches a lot of people in a lot of places, not all around me. I live in Cumbria, which is in the northwest of England, near the Lake District, just on the outskirts. And basically, as I have a lot of listeners near me, and you all have a lot of you have little ones, I just wanted to talk about this new business. It's called Rainbow City Play Centre. It's up on Kells. It's amazing. Me and Alessia went on Friday. I just fancied to catch up with my cousins, and we went through with our kids, and it was amazing. It was so brilliant. It's so immersive and great for the kids. So you walk in and you sort of check in, and there's a little bit where you can get coffees and cakes and sausage sandwiches and paninis, loads of lovely stuff. And then there's like a seating area, and then to your left there's like a soft play area. It had little trampolines, a slide, a ball pit, some seesaws. It was amazing. And then to the right was the bit that Alessia loved the absolute most. I mean, it was her first time on a trampoline, I'll give you that, and she thought it was great. But to the right, it was like a mini town. It was like a little city. So it's basically an interactive mini town where imaginations can make children be whatever they want. There's hairdressers, there was a vet's, there was a doctor's, a fire station, a post office, a supermarket, there was a construction site, and they are currently working on an outdoor area which is going to be introduced hopefully this summer. I have put the link to their website to book, because it's like sessions, so you go for an hour and a half session. I've put the link of their website on my Instagram already on a post and some pictures of it, so it's definitely worth having a little look at that. But I will also put the link in the bio to this episode, so it should literally be, you should scroll down from this and it should be available for you to just click on or copy and paste and go to their website. Honestly, I love to plug local businesses, so if you have a local business, if you do anything, crafts or play centres or anything like that, obviously I always like to try them myself personally, so obviously I promote businesses that I go to. I'm not like looking for freebies, but obviously give me a shout, and I'll give you a try, and I'll always mention it on here because I love to support local businesses. My dad has a local business. Obviously, he has Richardson's of Whitehaven, which is a fine wine and coffee merchants, and I love that shop to bits. But I have seen how hard it is to keep a small business going, especially in this kind of area. So, yeah, I just wanted to give it a bit of a plug because why not? We really enjoyed it. Alessia thought it was great. I'm going to take Lily and James as well. It's sort of guided up to the age of roughly 8, so Lily's age, but they do say that any children who will enjoy it, and obviously aren't going to just be a bit destructive and stuff, any child who can enjoy it is welcome. So I actually think my two will enjoy it for another year or so. Well, Lily for another year or so, James maybe even for 2 more years, I'm not sure. It feels like he's growing up as fast as Lily in a way, but I am excited to take them, and I just wanted to give it a quick mention because why not? It was great and I fully recommend it. So yeah, I am now going to go on to these amazing top travel tips that I've been sent, and which as soon as this episode's done, I'm going to fold these pieces of paper up and put them somewhere safe, ready for our holiday because it's great. These are just absolutely brilliant. So thank you to everybody who emailed in or messaged me. It's very much appreciated. So first of all, we have a tip from Megan. And what she does is she keeps her Shein. Is it Shein or is it Shein? I don't know. I think I call it Shein. And I have put Halara bags. She didn't say this, but Halara also they send their clothes out in similar bags to Shein. So she keeps those bags and then she packs the full outfit in them. So say you're going away for 7 nights, she would pack 7 outfits, like 7 bags with outfits in. So underwear, socks, top, shorts, just all in there. And then she says it just makes it miles easier when you arrive. You unpack them all and they're just ready to go. Like each day, you unpack a bag each day and you just know what you're wearing. I just thought that was brilliant. I'll be doing that. I don't know if I've got enough bags, but I'll maybe just do them for the kids. And that'll just make things miles easier. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Megan. Ashley has messaged in and said, have a bottle or boob ready to feed little ones on takeoff as the pressure can hurt their ears and a feed offers comfort. That isn't something I had considered. I didn't really think about little ones' ears popping and stuff with the pressure, so that's a really good one as well. I'll definitely have a bottle at the ready for Alessia or at least a dummy or something. And yeah, hopefully it'll help. I guess it's not too long of a thing, is it? But you just want to give them comfort because they don't understand, do they? So next up we have Charlotte, who has sent a massive list of things. This is absolutely brilliant. Charlotte is actually my cousin and she has been on loads of holidays with her kids. So I guess these are great to rely on because she obviously knows what she's doing. So the first one that she said was, and I'm definitely doing this, I think this is just an amazing idea. She goes to B&M or Home Bargains or Poundland and she buys cheap little bits. So it doesn't have to be anything expensive. It can be like Play-Doh or colouring pens or little toys, little like Lego packets or something. And she wraps them up individually so that sort of every half hour or so on the plane, the kids can unwrap a new one, and it just sort of makes it a bit more exciting, and they're maybe just a bit more entertained by it for a little bit longer. Because if your kids are out like mine, they get bored within 2 minutes. She's also said lollies to suck on for takeoff or landing. So obviously for Alessia, I'll do the bottle like Ashley suggested, but for the older ones, I guess their ears might be under pressure as well, so lollies is a really good idea. I am terrified of lollies, so it'll have to be probably drumsticks. Lollies really freak me out because I'm always scared of them choking, but I will go for drumsticks or something that they can suck on. Research whether the airport has soft play, because she said that it's not usually advertised as such, but a lot of airports have a soft play for like waiting or delays on flight, and it'll tire them out before the flight. We checked if the airport we're flying from has one, and it actually does, and we would have had no idea without Charlotte telling us that. So thanks so much, Sha. I really appreciate that one. She said plenty of snacks. Now that has been repeated on so many. Basically everyone said loads of snacks. Books and iPads, obviously keep them busy. And then she has said that for travelling in, make sure they're comfortable, so put them in pyjamas or loungewear. You don't want them being in jeans or anything, do you, and being uncomfortable. But I guess it's not something you might have thought of. Like, if your kids are anything like my two, Lily and James, obviously Alessia doesn't dress herself yet, but Lily and James will just go upstairs and dress themselves most of the time on weekends and stuff. And they might not even think of that. They might put skinny jeans on and then obviously be uncomfortable and too hot on the flight. So that's a really good one. Steph has said take colouring books and colouring pencils. And she's also said to talk them through what's happening. I think that's a really good one. I guess as adults, it's easy to forget that kids might not understand everything that's happening around them. And I guess a flight can be quite overwhelming. It could be a bit frightening, I suppose. So that's a great one. Thank you, Steph. Charlie has said, allow toddlers to walk up and down the aisle when seatbelt signs are off. That's a really good one. I'm going to be doing that with Alessia. Alessia does not like to sit on our knee. She's actually better just on a seat of her own, but obviously she's not getting a seat on the plane with being so young. So as soon as those seatbelt signs are off, it'll be me or Stuart just chasing her up and down the aisles, I guess. Hopefully I don't annoy too many people. I think a lot of people overall in the world, there's more good people than bad, so hopefully everyone will be quite understanding that it's better she walks up and down the aisle than screams the whole flight. Fingers crossed. Lorna has said, take Calpol, exclamation mark. This is not one I actually would have thought of. I know that sounds terrible being a mum, but I guess you're so caught up in making sure you've got enough swimming costumes, making sure you've got your regular medication or the kids' regular medication, like inhalers and things like that, that you could easily forget Calpol and like plasters. I was trying to think what they were called. Plasters. Alessia's allergic to plasters, and she's never cut herself bad enough that I've had to actually figure anything out for that yet. But yeah, plasters for the other two and for us because we're as clumsy as them. Plenty of spare dummies because not everywhere abroad has the same type of dummies. So if your little one is quite picky with their dummy, you might want to take plenty of spares of those, even if it means running to the shops before you leave and buying a few packets of them. I know dummies are expensive, but can you imagine how worse than losing your dummy and your kid not taken to another one? I mean, that would be a nightmare for Alessia. Unfortunately, she does rely on her dummy for sleep. Gives her a lot of comfort, and it's given me anxiety even thinking about if we lost her dummies on holiday. So that's a brilliant one. I'll be buying more dummies probably before we go because I can't see her being off a dummy by then. Parasol for the buggy. That's a good one because small buggies often don't have a very good sort of I can't even speak. Small buggies for like travelling with don't often have a very good sunshade. You know, it only goes out so far, whereas like prams, they often go quite far over. So that's a really good one. I'm currently trying to find a small buggy for travelling with that has a good sunshade so I don't have to bring a parasol because I find them a bit of a nightmare. Personally, I don't like them. But so if you've got any recommendations for a small buggy, obviously not too expensive, that has like a really good sunshade that pulls right over, please send a link my way. I would really appreciate it. Fidget toys for travelling to keep their little hands busy if they're getting anxious or anything. Spare sun hats because they're often expensive abroad. She has also said take floaties to save some money because they tend to be expensive in the shops. And she's also said neck fans. Now this is one I would also recommend, neck fans. Now, obviously, we haven't took the kids abroad yet, but when I was in the medical menopause, and obviously I'm going back into it, the hot flushes, holy hell. I've never had out like them. I used to laugh at women for getting like so flustered with them, but they're horrific. It's like your body's on fire. So I actually bought a neck fan, and I used to take it to work because obviously being a cleaner, I get quite warm. I used to take it to work, and everyone sort of giggled at me at first, and then we got that heat wave while I was pregnant when it was like 30-degree heat, and I took it with me, and well, I tell you, no one was laughing then because everyone wanted my neck fan. And Lorna has also said to take a buggy fan. This is really helpful for their naps if they're napping in their buggy. So thank you so much, Lorna. I really appreciate that. Lauren has said make sure you take after sun and plenty of sun cream to save money. I will be doing that, especially because my children have quite sensitive skin, as do I. So I wouldn't like to be buying a different sun cream and having the uncertainty once we're over there, and really not having any other options. My kids have never massively burnt. James has burnt a bit once when he was round at a friend's house in their paddling pool, but it wasn't awful. I burn easily, and I imagine they would if I didn't absolutely lather them the way I do. She's also said to take loads of wet wipes. You can't have too little amount. You can't have too many wet wipes. Honestly, it's 8 p.m. at night. It's a Sunday night. I've just had a shower and I've put a bit of fake tan on because I need to boost myself a bit. I feel like crap. I've had a kidney infection this week. I say we've had a lovely week. We have, but I got like a bit of a kidney infection just starting, so I've been put on antibiotics. We nipped it in the bud. So I just wanted to spruce myself up. So I had a shower, put my tan on, and I'll be going for another shower. But I'm just like, I'm so tired. Like my brain's stopped working. So she said take lots of wet wipes. This is what Lauren has said. You can't have too many because they're helpful for everything. Absolutely everything. And she has also said to have a look at water shoes for children. That's another thing I hadn't considered, but I suppose it saves them slipping and saves them catching verrucas and stuff, so that's probably one I need to look into. Louise has said make sure that you book a resort with plenty to do. Book all inclusive if you can, so that the kids can just grab a snack when they want and ice cream and stuff. Saves a lot of money in the long run, I think, in terms of, well, maybe it doesn't, but when you've paid for it already, it's like at ease, isn't it? You're never worrying, have I brought enough money? Have I got enough money? So that's a really good one. We have booked ultra all-inclusive where we're going. I'm so relieved that we have. And she's also said to check the predicted weather forecast for the holiday, just so you can be prepared, because you never know, it might be raining and kids might be all excited for sunshine and being in the pool, and it might not be that way, or you might be thinking, it's going to be about 22 degrees, this will be lovely, and they might be in for a heat wave, it might be 30 or 35, so that's a really good one as well, just checking the weather forecast of where you're going, what you're due. I'm going to try and slow down. I feel like I'm talking really fast. I'm not meaning to. You might want to put me on slow mode. I'm so sorry. So Diane, which is my mum, has said book holiday insurance at the same time as you book your holiday, ! She went a bit mad at us about that one. It is now booked, but she did go mad at me. She's my mum. She just wants the best for me, so we have now booked our holiday insurance. So yeah, do that at the same time as you book your holiday if you're able to. Also, never rely on unreliable transport such as trains or buses, and always have a backup plan. That was something me and her were talking about in terms of when we go to Prague. We were wondering whether to drive or not, but I think we're just gonna, as we don't want to rely on trains and not get there or not get back. So thank you, Mum. So Miranda also has some amazing tips. Now, Miranda is an absolutely fabulous woman all round. She's an amazing businesswoman. She works so hard. She's an awesome mum, and she's just fab. She travels loads. She's travelled loads of places, and she has given some amazing tips. So her son has autism, and she's basically given me some ideas for dealing with children who might be getting like overstimulated, how to deal with that. So this isn't even something I had really considered. Obviously, my children don't have autism. I don't know, that maybe one day we might find out they've got ADHD like me, but you know, these things can be hard to diagnose. And so I hadn't really thought about it, but I know this will help so many people. And actually, these tips will help any family, because I think no matter whether you're on the spectrum, I think we're all on the spectrum, but no matter, you know, what your situation is, I think everyone gets a little bit overstimulated and a little bit overwhelmed sometimes. So thank you, Miranda, so much for these tips, because they're going to be so helpful. Miranda was also one of my very first listeners to this podcast, so I really, really appreciate these ones. So the first one is to take iPads or tablets, but to also make sure you charge them up fully the night before you leave, and to remember to take your chargers. Obviously, it's very easy to just grab the iPad off the top and give it to your kids. But obviously, what do you do if you're in Spain or in Turkey or in Portugal and your tablet dies and you have no charger? If you could find one, you'd probably be paying over the odds. So that's a really good one. Make sure you have charged them up and make sure you take chargers with you. Give each child a bag with their own stuff in for easy access and to avoid any arguments between your children. Obviously, if you've got multiple children and you just had one bag full of everyone's stuff, I know with my two, they would definitely argue over whose is what and who picked what and stuff, because in this house, a lot of stuff is shared, a lot of the toys are shared, so they could easily argue. So I think that's a great one. Pack the individual bags, make sure that they know which bag is theirs. It gives them a bit of responsibility as well, because I don't think there's anything wrong with giving kids a bit of responsibility to look after their own stuff. So I think that one's a great one. I will be doing that. Take handy games, such as like decks of cards, like Uno, things like that. Just small games that you can pack easily and that you can either play on the flight or when you get there for a bit of downtime. We'll be taking some decks of cards with us for sure. That's probably all we'll take, because we play a lot of card games, so I don't think we'll get bored. Set off in plenty of time to have toilet and lunch stops. That's another brilliant one. Of course, if your flight is booked for the afternoon, so you're setting off in the morning to whichever airport, if it's a long drive, you could very quickly become quite late if you haven't thought of these things. You know, if you stop off, say you're in good traffic, but then you have to stop off for a toilet break and lunch, and you set back off and you're in bad traffic, that, you know, it's a difference between I can't speak today, I'm so sorry. It's a difference between being on time, early and late, isn't it? So that's a really good one. Make sure that you set off in plenty of time, which I think for me would mean prepping the night before. We are personally going to stay over the night before. We fly to Spain in a hotel by the airport, and I've just reminded myself to book that. Thank you, Brenna. Well done, me. Have periods of separation and break the kids up to avoid fights and overstimulation. This is a really good one. So especially because kids of different ages and different genders and whatnot, they have different interests. So I think we'll have to do this a bit with Lily and James. Obviously, Alessia will come wherever. And I think that's a great one, because there seems to be so much pressure on, like, oh, you'll all stay together, you'll all have this family time. It's like on Christmas. My kids played upstairs most of Christmas Day. They took their toys upstairs and they just wanted to play with them on, like, upstairs together, on their own, whatever. I didn't stress over it. I was like, yeah, you go do that. You do what you want to do. I'll be down here. If you want to come down and play with me, come down. No bother. Yeah, I don't think there's out wrong with having periods of separation. I think that's a brilliant one. She's also said to plan downtime and rest periods. That is another good one. If you have too much of a packed schedule, you will overstimulate and overstress yourselves. Don't do it. make sure you plan even a day. Say you can't plan it every evening. Plan it a day where you are just doing nothing, because you don't realise the good it'll do you. You don't want to get back from a holiday and need another holiday to recover from it. That's not what a holiday is about. She's also said to try and book to stay somewhere with plenty of space to avoid overload. Also to try and make sure that there's more than one room. So say you're staying in a hotel, she said that it's quite handy to book 2 separate rooms and then make sure, each room has a TV and stuff. It just makes sense with the kids to have that bit of time. We tend to just book 1 room at the minute, but obviously the older Leslie gets, we are going to start having to book 2 rooms, and I do think it'll actually help in some ways. So that's another brilliant one. Thank you so much, Miranda, for those. I really appreciate it. And I'm really sorry because I can't speak today. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm speaking very fast. I'm not meaning to. I've had a lovely day. I should be a lot more chill than this, but I'm not. So yeah, apologies. So Rachel has said, take extension leads, ideally with USB ports. You don't know if they'll have them over there, and if they do, you're probably paying over the odds, and plus, who needs more extension leads? You've probably got loads at home, you may as well just take one. That's a really good one, thank you, Rachel. So Sophie has said, take new toys the kids haven't seen before. That's a good one. I find that the kids will be entertained for longer by even a bit of a rubbish toy if they've not seen it before, compared to one of their old toys they've played with loads of times. And then she put at the end of this, and pray that they sleep. I love that. That is a very good one. It's very true. I will pray that they sleep, especially Alessia. So Lily gave me one. She came in and she said, don't forget drinks. Now that's a good one, because she was reading through them and she was like, no one said drinks. Everyone's saying snacks, but no one said drinks. That is a good one. Thank you, Lils. Especially with my kids, because I often find that getting a drink for Lily is quite easy, because she'll drink juice, milk, water. She's pretty easygoing. Alessia's kind of the same. She'll drink whatever. Like, she tried her first sip of juice at a party yesterday because I forgot her water, and she loved it. She was fine with it. Like, she still drinks water and milk, but she was all right with juice. So they're both easy. James will only drink water and milk. So it might sound surprising, but it can be sometimes quite hard to find just water in some places, especially from bottles that are easy to drink from and aren't, a risk of spilling and stuff. Lily also said to take books to read, and also a notebook and pen. She loves sitting and just writing things and drawing things and doodling. So that's another good one. And she's also said to wear comfy clothes to travel in. So she's listened to Charlotte there and done that one. So the last person is Katie. Thank you, Katie. Another amazing mum. I mean, all the mums on here who I know, because obviously some of these people have emailed me and I don't know you, I'm so sorry, but all the mums on here who I know are amazing mums. I just want to make that clear. Katie has said to wear clothing without metal, so no zips, no belts. This is something I did not think of. For the airport, obviously, it's going to take more time going through security, having to take your belt off, or like Alessia has these gorgeous Bullabaloo baby grows, and I was actually going to get her to travel in one of those, but it's got zips, so it would just be a pain in the arse having to take her out of it. I don't know if babies count. I'll have to look into it, but if they do, I'm not putting her in that, because I'm not stripping her naked just to go through security. She's also said to take pre-made snack boxes, so like craft boxes with snacks in, especially if you can get like the kids' names on them, like stickers or vinyls. That's a really good idea. Thank you, Katie. And then Katie has also said about packing outfits prepped. So she said that if you lay a t-shirt out, lay the shorts on top of it, undies on top of that, and then socks on top of those, and then roll them up and pack them individually. So say you don't have Shein bags or Halara bags. Slow down, Brenna. Chill out. Roll them up individually and pack them rolled up. So obviously it's still your clothing. It's still your outfit ready. I think that's another good one, because not everyone's going to have Shein or Halara bags. So yeah, I'm genuinely going to fold these up and put them somewhere very safe, because these are going to be very helpful for me. Now, something that I thought of myself is, often when we go away, if I know we're not going to use something until we go, I'll pack it. So I don't mind having a suitcase because we have quite a big landing. I don't mind having a suitcase on the landing with a few bits packed for a month, 2 months. I genuinely don't mind because I know it's ready. Like, I know that those bits are there and I can just add to it. The thing is, it's really handy to, as you're packing stuff, write a list of what you've packed. So I would write a list of what you need that you can always add to, and then as you're packing things up, write a list of what you've packed. So even you don't have to write down to like the socks, but say you pack them in outfits again, you could say, right, James, 10 outfits, Lily, 10 outfits, Alessia, 30 outfits, the way she goes through them. And you know, you can make sure that you know what you've packed, because there's nothing worse than going, oh God, have I packed that? Oh God, oh, what? Do I need these? Because I can't remember if I've packed any. And then going and unpacking on yourself. I do that a lot. So this time round, I'm going to make a list and also make another list while I'm packing. And I just think that's going to help me out because my brain is awful. So those are your top travel tips. If you have any more, though, that you want to send in, I'll be happy to mention them in the next few episodes. I'll mention them whenever because they're always going to help people. You can't go wrong with tips for going away with children, can you really? But thank you so much to everyone who sent one in. They're so helpful. So I am going to go off, but before I go, I am recording with Claire McNulty. I'm trying to think. This week, I'm recording with her this week. I'm recording it this Friday morning, lunchtime. So if you have any questions that you want to ask a wellbeing coach, please get them sent in ASAP, because I want to send her some guide questions. She has ADHD too, and I don't want her worrying over stuff. I always try to send guide questions to people, but with ADHD myself, I know how it feels to panic over things if you're not prepared. So I'm going to be sending her some things over, and I'd really appreciate some questions from you guys. I have some already, but I'd love some more. She's a wellbeing coach. She's absolutely lovely. And obviously, she runs the group Honestly ADHD on Facebook. If you have ADHD or anyone in your life has ADHD, it's definitely worth joining that group. It's a very supportive and very nice group. Everyone in it seems so kind. It's given me a lot of confidence in myself, and it has given me some great tips. So that's just a little shout out for that one. Please do send any questions over. If you've enjoyed this episode, please would you do me a few favours, please? Could you rate and subscribe to the podcast? If you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts and rate it on Spotify. It might seem like such a small thing and it takes literally 2 minutes, but it makes a massive difference to me and the podcast. It makes it reach further, and it just really helps. I really appreciate whenever I get lovely reviews. So if you could do that for me, that would be great. Also, if you could follow the Instagram, that is at mamasgonemad_podcast. And if you have anything at all that you want me to mention on the podcast, if you have a small business you want mentioned, if you want to get in touch with me for anything at all, please email mamasgonemad23@gmail.com. And that pause was not because I forgot the email address. I would never do that. God, my brain's gone to absolute pot, so I am going to go now. Thank you so much for listening yet again to Mama's Gone Mad.
Mama's gone mad. Mama's gone mad. Mama's gone mad.